Hey everyone, welcome to the tech capital of the world, Carlsbad, North Carolina. And Kevin, it is another coding Thursday, or should I say,
Yeah,
we're not here on tomorrow.
it's normally Friday, but we're here a day early. So
Yeah,
thought we'd finish this off a day early.
yeah. So we're gonna be out tomorrow for Good Friday, and then so we thought we'd, probably end of the week for most people anyway. So it's sort of like a Friday.
Yeah, why not?
We're gonna code some stuff up.
What are we doing today? What are we adding to our project today?
Oh well, I think we're gonna add in a play it again button. I think we need to be able to play it again, and we may add a win condition, like if you win or lose or something like that. Limit the guesses to 5.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that because otherwise it's just it's not really a game, is it? If you can guess forever,
just a button clicker, and then we can add maybe some hints. I got some good ideas for hints to show you some hints about the poster or the movie or whatever it is, and maybe that'll help you along the way.
Okay.
So let's see what we can do.
Somebody had suggested a feature too, hadn't they?
Yep.
I can't remember who it was. Hold on, I'm just going to go look and see who it was. What was the feature, though, while I'm looking it up?
So they said that if you win, maybe you show the movie trailer. So
yes,
we'll
that was
take that as a to-do.
Master
We won't do that
Creptor,
today.
that's who suggested it. Master
Yeah.
Creptor, yeah. It says, I was thinking maybe a feature
like
to
that
show
idea.
the movie trailer when you win. Yeah, so I was like, maybe we just have like when you win or it's at the end. Maybe you don't even have to win. Maybe like whatever condition it is, you can have a button that just says watch trailer.
Yeah.
That could be interesting, right?
Something like that.
I think it's like an option to like watch the trailer for the movie. Yeah, because we know that's in the API, right? That's part of TMDB, so
Got to work a little bit to get it. We're going to set it up today to make sure that we're already pulling it back, and then we'll create some kind of trailer modal in another session.
when we do that too, there's an interesting thing about that, isn't there? Because that seems simple, but it's not simple, is it? Because I mean, you've done this before. That's because of what's in the API, right? Like it pulls. If you pull back the first video that's available, it's never a trailer, is it?
No, it's usually a featurette or something like that. And I was actually looking at it this morning to see how hard it was going to be, and I just noticed right away. I hit it in Fight Club. Their first video come back is like a documentary on why this movie didn't win an Academy Award. So
okay.
It's like, okay, Fight Club, okay, I liked it, but
so how do you handle that? I know we're doing that next time, but how does that get handled?
So you get a list of movies back, and so we have to filter it, but first by trailer, and then take the first trailer that we find.
So there's like a tag on it that says trailer in the API?
Yeah, and then we have to find it to make sure that it's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. So providers like a field too.
Yeah. So a couple of things you got to do, and then you got to like create the embed, destroy the embed. There's a lot of JavaScript that we got to do to make sure that it doesn't play in forever. That kind of stuff.
We'll do that one next
auto
time.
start. We don't want it to auto start necessarily. So like those kind of a lot of things we got to consider.
Cool.
So, all right, but we can let's get going here.
Yeah, throw it over to you.
Write some code. So this is our current state of the app, and we can, guess. I think this is the mask.
Yeah,
we're getting good at this.
Last time.
So we'll just see that. See if I'm right. Yep. So we got the mask in there, and maybe another feature is to store the last 100 movies you've seen, and don't allow repeats to come through. So we'll see how bad that is.
Okay.
Because over time, you can see the same movie more than once. So if you keep 100 in, and you play this more than 100 times, we're like, awesome.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because we did see this one last time, didn't we? So.
Yeah, we did. And that's because nothing is truly random, really. So.
Right. So right now, what happens when we guess it? It just reveals the image, right?
Yeah. So I want to show like some kind of like pop-up that says you won or you lost. And we're going to give the user 5 guesses to do it.
Oh.
And then either way. And then we can wire up this play it again. So I'm going to do the play it again first because that's easy. So we click this. It should make a new poster. So let's do that real quick because that's easy to do. So I'm going to stop this and we'll jump into the code here. So we're in this one page here. And this is all of my HTML. And so basically this is the control container, and then we have that game board container. So the game board container, for those who are watching, is where the poster is, and this control is the right hand side. It's got all the controls on it, and our button is included down here in this div here. And you can see here I got this played again. So in Blazor, what we want to do is when I click this, I want it to run a method. And that's really stupidly easy to do. And it's a lot like JavaScript, except you don't have to write all the bindings. So like you can just literally say @on click here. And you do use the @ sign, and then you just give it the name of the function you want to run. Okay, and that's all you have to do. Now, what it'll do is it'll compile and say, hey, you know what? This doesn't exist. So we have to come down here and actually add the method here. So I'm going to put it right after new game here. And everything is going to run as a task. So we'll say play it again. All right. Copilot thinks it knows what it's doing, Kevin.
Oh, it does.
Now, if you notice here, I've got this code here, and it was actually pretty smart. So like on after render, when this thing starts up, we run this code here. So we can do kind of the same kind of thing here. I'm going to take this out. And so we could do the same kind of thing here, run play it again, and it'll do the same. So now, since we did that, we should be able to call play it again here at startup. All right, so now all of our logic is right in here. And you're probably wondering, like, why isn't this all in something called new game? Well, we've got this game state here that's resetting these squares. And we could put it all in new game, but I was separating it because I didn't know when I started out like how complicated this was going to be, but it ended up being pretty easy. So I refactored it. I might come back and just get this in one method, but you know, separation is good. You know, it's okay. I could rename this to like create squares or something like that. But anyway, let's see if that works and see if we can get a new game. Number one, we changed two things. Does it start up right? And then second, if we hit the play it again button, will it work? I'll make a new poster.
I have confidence.
Okay.
Oh,
we'll see. I think
we did break
it
something.
looks like it did.
Reveal a square. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
That's weird.
That's good. We really broke something.
We did, didn't we?
Did you trigger that to do that, or did that just do that on its own?
I did not trigger it. So let's just see what happened here.
Okay. That was like the timer had counted down, hadn't it? And it did that then.
Yeah. So all I did was play a game. Oh, it wasn't awaited. So you do have to await it. So that's why it didn't do that. Okay. So let's see if this will work.
Good start.
Okay. Okay, it's Toy Story again of some sort.
One of them. Yeah.
We'll go 2. Let's see what we got here. Nope.
Try the first one.
95. There we go. Okay. So we've got our guesses here. And we now can, if I hit this, this should make a new poster. Let's see what it does.
Ooh.
It did flash though, didn't it?
It flashed, actually, it flashed a secondary movie and then the one that it ended up on, which was interesting.
I know why it did that. Okay, so we can't do this this way because what's happening is this is happening. Game state and then new game. So what new game does, I think it just gets the random poster. try it one more time. I want to watch it again, see what it does.
Yeah, that time it definitely flashed a random poster and then changed it and then obscured it.
I think it's calling play it again twice because it's re-rendering. So this could be, this looks like I don't know what that is.
You just play again though without even.
I just want to give it one guess here to see what it does. Okay, and then hit play it again. Yeah, it's running twice because I think it's running on the on after render for some reason. Okay, so let's fix that. We'll see which one runs first. Look at the ID here. So this says 0 right here. So it's going to play again. Call this. Yeah, continue and go out. Okay. Well, this obviously is Sherlock Holmes, but so now it's stopped again.
Which one?
So this does render quite a bit. All right, let's let it run. Okay, so Sherlock. Okay, now I'm going to hit play it again. Okay, it's running a bunch. All right, so I think what's happening here is like this is no longer valid here. We only want this to run if it renders once the first time it comes in. Otherwise, we're going to let this handle it. And if they refresh the page, this will run.
Okay.
This should fix it.
It could just show you your game logic can get kind of complex, can't it, as you're doing this?
Yeah, when you're like messing with it and trying to restart it.
Yeah.
So, okay, play it again, ran. Fine. And now we have a poster. I'm going to hit play it again. Continue. There we go.
Okay.
Yes, I know this movie too. Now You See Me. Something like that. Though? Let's see. Yes. Don't ask me why I knew that poster. I think it's because I think the poster is cool. I just knew that poster, but but pretty crazy movie.
Well, there you go. I played again. Button works.
It does work. Let's
and
try
I
it
guess
again.
it's worked.
Yep. Take that off. So now we have no guesses here. Oh, we need to reset those, don't we?
Okay. There you go.
We need to fix that because we need to reset those. So that can be part of our reset here. And then we get rid of these. And then we'll have to do the same thing for our hints. Let's try it again. I don't like that.
Yeah, it took it. Yeah, that was weird. Oh, that is strange. Why is it doing that?
Let's see here. Reset game state. It does the squares. And then we show a random square.
Like it's doing that twice, though.
It does do it twice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to do this because I do think there can be a race condition in this because it's got to go out to that API. And these are all like running asynchronous in the background. So I'm just going to give it a second before it tries to show a random square.
Okay.
So it should reset the game state, which is redo the squares, add a new square, and the default for square is false. So at least I think it is. We'll go check it. So square is set to false. So that's the default. All right. So let's try that and see if it'll fix that.
Oh, that's weird now.
I think it's well, it's taken this. There's a fade condition on this when it goes away. So there's CSS run, and that's why it looks weird.
Is it showing another poster though before it shows the next one?
No, it's going to. It just fades this one out.
Oh, okay. It just looks weird.
It's going to fade this one out. Yeah.
It's almost like it doesn't quite fade it out. It throws it away and then fades it after it's thrown it. Like, it's weird. It fades it, or it like goes to black, then fades it out, back in again, like out again. It's weird. It just looks odd.
So like if we do our transition logic, see how long we set it for. So that's it right there. Where's the transition? It's a 1 second transition. So like,
yeah, but I feel like before it does that, though. But I feel like before it does that, it blanks it, then it fades it. It's weird. It's like it blanks it, brings it back, fades it out again. Did you see? Because it does something instantly, then it
because the reason is because this opacity is changes on change, and so when I set that object when it's looping over them, setting it to false, it triggers this transition, and so it's trying to get it back to opacity 1. And it just takes it 1 second to do it. So we're going to change our code. That's why it was a race condition. So we're going to change our code to 2 seconds before we show a random square. And it should do it, I think. And we may move this line above new game too and see.
Okay.
That makes it play a little better. But this will at least be smoother because it'll be longer than the transition for CSS.
Right.
So. Dark Knight, but we don't care right now. There we go.
Okay.
Ooh, it did 2 Dark Knights in a row. That's weird.
Yeah.
Home Alone. Jaws. I don't know that one.
It's
okay.
Harry.
It's what? It's Jim Carrey?
Thingy movie, the one always under the dome. What's that called? Truman Show. It's a good.
Look at that. We are good at this game. Okay, so let's do it. This one's all revealed, so let's see how it looks now.
Yeah, the animation still feels weird, doesn't it? But I think we come back.
It's because there's 2 timer loops running, and it's going to be
it just feels strange because it flashes and then it's slow. Because it goes. I think the issue is that it goes fast and then slow. I think that's the weirdness.
It's definitely an easy ease type thing going on, sir.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we've got played again working. It doesn't reveal more than 1 square, and it doesn't reveal an extra square to you. You know.
Yep.
So I'll try one more thing. I'm just going to move this line of code here above this just to see how it looks. And this may not be what we want at all.
Sometimes you just got to try.
You know what? I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone because like this new game's this is what takes so long to run.
Okay. That's the part. You're right. Right.
Yeah, it takes too long to run.
Right.
So I think this will be fine.
Yeah, let's just
maybe we could do something else.
Let's look at the win condition box in that.
Okay, so let's work on guesses. See if we can random like the guesses here. So I'm going to come up here, and I've got some game state variables here. I'm going to call these game state variables. And private. Then I'm going to give us a integer of max guesses. So I'm going to say max guesses. Ooh. ChatGPT says this should only give us 3. It's brutal.
Wow.
All right. We're saying we're not, give people a chance here. So what we need to do is if they submit it, we need to like increment this, like how many guesses, the current guesses probably need to keep track of that. And then compare it against the max guesses. So let's look at our code here and see when we push our button, which is in here, what are we doing? Okay, so we're already checking to see if they're right, if they get the thing right. We say when, and then we say, well, else just show a new square. We probably need to keep up with probably something like, something that says, all right, I need you to know how many guesses you've made. Okay. So we're adding the guesses here. So we could probably use this thing right here to figure out how many guesses there's been. So, okay. And let's do this. Let's put one more Boolean up here. I don't know if we're going to need it, but this is my ideas coming in my head right now. So like, I think I'm going to also keep a Boolean game over. So game over, you could win or lose. And so we could probably get it all to work here, win or false, but like I'm going to track them differently. So I don't know yet. Maybe I'll come back and do it. All right. So what I need to do is this checks to see if we've guessed it. This down here just shows a random square when equals false. And so I'm going to go ahead and change our game over here to equal true. I don't know if I'm going to need this, but we'll see. And then here, we should check to see if the users reach the max guesses. I think that could. All right. So let's put it outside the if here. That's where we're adding our guess at. So this is really keeping up with our counter. And we'll say we don't know game over equals false at this point. And then we can just really if all right. And we'll reveal the poster, something like that too. And we're revealing it here. We add a guess. This could happen twice. Let me get rid of this line here. I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna have to just test this because like we'll add that back in because I think we'll see. All right, so if we get it right, we reveal a poster, else we show a random square, we add a guess, And if we're over the count with this guess here, then we're going to say game over is true, the win is false, reveal the poster. All right. So, okay. And then what do we want to happen? This is a reveal poster. All right. Okay. So let's add a, even though we got the max guesses in here, we need something to say, hey, you've reached the max guesses and you lose or you win. So I'm going to add a folder right here. Add a new folder. We'll call it UI. Let's see here. And I'm going to add a new component. And this is going to be my win condition or lose condition overlay. All right. And let's call it win loss overlay. I can get my keys right, man. Okay, so a UI component is just some HTML that we need. And we're going to do this completely with CSS. We could use Bootstrap, but we're going to write our own component here. So I'm going to say div. And I know I'm going to give it a class. I'm going to call it overlay. So this is going to be my overlay class. Make it semi-transparent, whatever. And then we'll say right here. And then I'm going to have a div here. Class equals, I'm going to give this a result card. I think that's what we'll call it. I don't know. Text center. All right. So this will just be what we're going to show in here. We're not going to do too much. H1 and say, ooh, I know what we can do. So I'm going to say at. Let's add a parameter in this thing. Parameters things that we'll pass in, and we'll pass in whether they want or not. That way we can I don't know why it's doing that. Come on, it's stupid. Then I'll need to know really what the movie title was. Hard time typing today. All right. And then I am going to close it from my parents. So I'll need this event callback right here. I definitely want to need that. And then how many guesses did you have? Okay, something like that, I think. And then we'll probably need one more parameter here. And this will just be another one. Is it visible or not? All right. We'll set this at the parent. All right. this could be null. Okay, so that's the things that we'll need. We need to know if it's visible or not. So I can go ahead and check this. If the reason I'm having to do this is because I am not relying on Bootstrap to keep it invisible or not. I'm doing it myself. And so this will keep this invisible when we add it back to our parent page. And then we can just set it to true and it'll show itself. Pretty cool. And then we have this overlay. We're going to style this to be sort of invisible. And then we can put the title in here. So we'll say at, and then we'll say is a win. Is a win. You got it. Is that strong enough, Kevin? You got it? Or should we say you're amazing? Or
well, that's not hamming it up too much.
Don't hype it up too much?
No.
Because so this would be bad if we put loser in here, something like that.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. You could bring people
Game
down,
over,
but
loser.
building them up too much over guessing the game is, it's a bit too easy for that. Maybe on the super hard mode we're going to do at the end, maybe that'll be you can say.
Yeah. So game over, loser. All right. So then we can put a P tag in here, maybe something like this. And then this will just say how many guesses they did take you if you won. And we'll put the movie title in here too. Something like that. Let me just get this in here. Copilot's annoying sometimes. All right. Then is when. What I hope you understand, like what I want people to learn from this is like how cool it is to do this. Like it's really easy to like do these conditional HTML. It's pretty easy. And so like I could check the win here and it says you guessed it. And then I'm passing in the number of guesses here. Guesses. If it's a loss, the movie and else the movie was movie title. Okay. Pretty easy. So it's a win. You guessed it, and 3 guesses the movie was. So it'll show you the movie title if you lose. And if you win,
you obviously know it.
Let's go ahead and put it in both of them.
I don't
we'll
think
put
you
it
need
in
it
here just in case.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but you guessed
put it in there. Yeah, I know. But maybe some people are like, I don't know. So we'll just put it in here, movie title. All right, so you guessed blah-de-blah. You guessed in 3 guesses. So let's do it like this. So you guessed Star Trek in 3 guesses. Okay. I think that worked. Else, the movie was... title was this. Let's do the same thing with our string interpolation here. Don't use those. This is the problem with ChatGPT. Doesn't know everything. Okay, something like that. Let me put a dot. Okay, game over, loser, and then we need a button to close this thing because we're making our own little modal here. MBTN primary. And we'll say close. And this is also what's cool about components here is I can wire this up to call an event in the parent. So on click, when this is clicked, call the on close event down here, and then I can write, it'll call this method right here, which doesn't do anything. It just calls back, and I'll show you how we use it in the UI. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, what we can add when we come in later, we could add another button here, play trailer button. You know, we might could do that, something like that. So I think whatever we want to do here. All right. That's pretty cool. All right, so that's our components. Let's go to our page and come up here. And let's make sure this is in our imports. Components.ui. Over here. And we're going to drop this component right here. Okay, cool. Now, I also probably need to go over here and probably add, I'm going to add the style. I forgot to add the style sheet to it. So I'm going to add a new item style sheet to this overlay. Style sheet. And this will isolate it, so it only affects the component here when loss over overlay. You just name them after the component. Blazor. It's okay when loss. All right. So my overlay needs some love here. So we're going to position it and we're going to fix it. It's going to take up the entire screen, wherever it is. Just like any normal modal. I probably should have used a Bootstrap mobile, but you know, whatever. Top 0, left 0. Width. And I'm going to make it the view height. And height is view height. Background color, I can make it any color I want, but I'm going to make it 50% transparent black. So it'll be this kind of translucently fixed over it. And then inside this, we'll say flex. Make it flex the stuff in it. And put it in the middle. Justify content. Center. And line items. Center. So it'll center it on the page. So it's always in front of everything. I need to check something, but I remember I set a z-index of something else, I think.
You set a z-index of 1,000 somewhere.
Okay. Because I was thinking, I remember saying it like...
Yeah.
I don't... check. Get 3 seconds. And we'll just do this easy. So it'll fade in and out real slow. Okay, so that's one thing we'll do. Let me go check this. What did we do? So this is the poster overlay. Suggestions. Okay, we'll just, it's over the controls. I don't know why I put poster there. Okay, I just want to make sure. This should never be up, but you never know, right? You just don't know,
right?
What they did. It should never be up, but it should be up front, over top of it, and then my result card. I'm gonna give it a background color. Something like that. And then it needs a border. Make it 8 or 10, slightly rounded. Border dash. Let's do it all once. 2 pixel solid. Something like that. We'll look at this color to see if we like it. All right. Should show up. I don't know. 2 lines of padding around the whole thing. 2 rep. Good little box shadow. Oops. It's going to give me one. All right. 0, 0, 20 pixel. And I'm going to make it white. So all 255s is white. And that's the transparency setting. Color is white. And our max width of this will be 500 pixels. That's the biggest it can get. Come on, man. I was hoping it would give me that animation, but it didn't do it. I want to inherit it. Animation. And actually spell this right. All right. Okay, so that's our card. And so if you go back and look at this thing, that's this thing right here. So it's going to be sort of white, and then it'll fade in when we change this stuff. Didn't like that. Let's do it like this. Not passing anything back to it. All right. So the other thing that we can do Okay. All right. So one of the things that I did was I'm conditionally going to set this right here because I want to style this based on whether it's a win or a loss. And so we can conditionally set these things here. So like I can come up here and I'm going to give this a class based on win or loss. So I'm going to say is win question mark win else loss. I need to put these in win. Loss. So this will say overlay space win, overlay space loss. And so then I can target this in CSS to make this some kind of color or something like that. I gotta put this all in quotes, just like that. This is just a conditional CSS trick we do here at Code Foundry all the time. So based on this value, it'll add a class on it, which means then I can come over to my CSS and target that. So if I say overlay, when, do some stuff, and then overlay loss, do some stuff. And spell this right. It'd be great. All right. So I know there's a lot of CSS, but we'll get there. Got to make it look cool, you know? And let's make sure it's directly in the same class. The border color. Could try green. We'll see what it looks like. I don't know. And let's do this and border red. All right. Now I've got this right here. This right here, this animation that I wrote here. I need to actually write this code here for this animation to work. So this, never done this before. Kevin, you've seen, you can make keyframes here in CSS. So kind of like After Effects days, or so you give it a name here, and we called it fade in. It's got to be the same thing I called it here, so I called it that. And I'm just going to go opacity 0, and then transform. Golly. Scale. And then we'll just say from 0 to 1, and it'll zoom in a little bit. So this is a little kind of zoomer guy. Yeah, all right. All right. So then we come back over here. I think that's enough of work for there. So then we can come in here and we just add in these variables here. So we have is visible, and we can track is visible in our code as well. So we can just create a variable and then set it, and that'll make it show up or not. Be pretty easy, but we can also, so let's create a variable up here for that. We're down here, and we'll say private bool show relay false. So there we go. right, so now we got this Boolean here, and this will control whether this thing shows up or not. So we'll come here, and this is our parameter, and we just set it to at show overlay. It's telling us which ones that we have here. And so it has is when equals, and we can say at when. And this will tell if it's a win or a loss. Guesses equals at. We already have a guesses variable. Dot count. Movie title. Random movie dot title. And on close, this is our, we'll say close overlay. And we'll write this method here in our parent. So I can probably put these on separate lines so everybody can see kind of what we're doing. So we're just passing variables to these parameters in this component, and then the component does it. So one of the things that we like about components is you give it everything it needs, and then when you need to do something with it, it passes you an event back. And so we can write a variable, write some at the end here. Let's mix these down. We can see what's going on here. Type ahead. We can close that region down. Models, region. All right. Put it right here. Private. And then we'll just call it whatever I called it, close something. And all this will do is when we set this sets this variable to false, which will set this right here, which in turn go in here and trigger this. So we'll see. And then we got a couple more things to do here. So we can, now let's check our submit to see if we can show it. So we can come down here. You need to do this in one spot. So if we win, if we lose, add the guesses, reveal the poster. Okay, I think we'll be here. That'll work. All right. So the game over will be true or false add a guess, then we'll check it. Then we'll check it one more time to say if the game is over, show the overlay. I think that'll work, Kevin. It's a lot of work, but I think we can do it.
Give it a shot.
Let's CSS. All right, we'll check our win first. Maybe we can try to win the first time out, and then we'll try to lose. Okay, I don't know that one, which is good. Do you know this one?
No, it's one of those
romantic comedy.
Yeah, yeah. It has to be, right?
Okay, let's see. Looks like a C. It's not the Chronicles of Narnia, but we'll look like Children's Train. Christmas Chronicles, The Cabin in the Woods. We'll go there. I know it's not The Cabin in the Woods. The Call of the Wild.
Sure.
Nah.
Not that. But it doesn't matter.
Go for it. All right. So here's our guesses here. So CAU.
Could also be top of an S. I don't know.
Huh?
Might not be a C,
or
might be top of an S.
Oh yeah, let's try S. Okay, the Children's Train.
I don't know.
We're gonna lose.
Anything.
We're not
gonna let it lose.
Okay, what should happen here is our fifth guess should come up and our condition should show, and we should lose. The Fault in Our Stars. And it did show up.
Yeah.
What I will say is, I'm wondering. All right, I want to lose again here. Unless you know that one off the bat.
I don't. Well, I think it's Now You Can See Me Too, isn't
It's
it?
Now You See Me Too. Now You See Me Too. Okay, so it is showing, but it's not like we thought it would be. So this needs to be centered and bigger and all kinds of stuff. It's like, yeah, it's just not, and it's not centered. So let's get it background. It's sort of colored in like maybe what I thought, because it can be sort of, but this needs to be white or something. Okay. So let's look at our CSS. It always comes down to CSS. Let's make sure we're in the right one here. So this is this. I think this is right. This is going to be kind of whatever. I didn't have enough F's on that.
You could have, because it's a solid like that. No, you can do it like that. Because if it's all 6, you can do 3.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, that will work. That is white.
Maybe I did misspelled this then. So maybe, because it wasn't white. Sure enough. Look at that.
Hey.
All right. Result. Dash card. All right. Let me see. Make sure I spelled it right now. Okay. So that'll fix that a little bit. And then this border's not working. Maybe it needs to be styled up. Border style. 2 pixel. Solid. Green, I think I can do it like that.
Get a typo on solid.
Yeah. Just get rid of it. And here. I mean, that may look terrible when we can just dial it in.
Yeah, but we can figure that out afterwards as long as we get it working.
Yeah. This should be fine. So I think the only thing was this was the problem. So
yeah.
Let me just refresh it. Because I do know sometimes these isolate style sheets do have to compile. So hot reload typically, some days it picks it up, some days it doesn't. All right.
That is Her.
Let's see it. Her?
Yeah.
Sam Altman's favorite movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of what I wanted, except I want this to be like big. And then I want this to be centered. I want it to fill the whole screen, maybe.
It's filling.
Maybe I don't.
It's filling just half of the screen, look, which is interesting. Straight down the middle, look.
I know.
That means there's got to be some setting somewhere, right? That's saying 50% of something, maybe, or something.
Yeah. And it got this in here, which is kind of cool. And so I want. So let's look and see what I did. He looks weird anyway in this picture. Anyway. Sure that's what they were going for. So what did I do? So I knew I set a max width on something. So this is the overlay. Blah, 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 blah. Center. Transition. Result card. Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted that thing in the middle, but I wanted this thing to fill up everything. I didn't do it. Justify line items. Ooh. This. This is view height. Should be view width. All right.
Okay, there you go.
All right. The Joker.
That's
all right. We know we can get this one. Uh-oh.
Not there. Maybe it's just Joker. It's not the Joker.
Ah, okay. Okay.
There you go.
That's I think that's okay, right? What do you think? And let's check to see this works. Then it comes back and you can see it. And you can see your guesses there. All right, so we can play again now.
Yeah, let's get one wrong.
And we'll guess the Joker.
Baby
Driver. I know that's Mission Impossible.
Oh, is it? Oh, Mission Impossible. Yeah, there you go.
And that's this is the one where he climbs the building with the suckers. All right.
Okay. Oh, that's the Jeremy Renner one, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. So did I guess 5 times? I guess I did. Let me try that again. This needs to get reset every time.
Yeah. One thing we didn't do.
Yeah. That's Jason Statham.
No, it's not. It's that terrible Time movie from last time with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know what was that. What it was called? Was it called Time? Is that what it was called?
Out of Time. I know it's not this one, but
it was In Time.
Okay, so the reason is because we're not resetting guesses, so it thinks it's always 5.
Yeah.
So we need to reset that when we play again. All right, so let's do that real quick. And all right, so reset game state. Maybe we could do that here. Probably. I mean, could. Guesses equals new. win equals false. Game over equals false. And then this should never happen, but we'll go ahead and set it just in case, because they have to close it. But so now we can set our guesses to new, which will eliminate all those. The win, game over. All right, let's do it. Okay. I don't know what this one is. Zootopia. Madagascar. Madagascar. The Penguins of Madagascar.
No, it's not that.
Okay.
It's called Madagascar, I think.
There we go. So we got 2 guesses here. So 3 guesses. You got it. All right. Yay. You won. All right. I'm going to play again, and this should go away. And they did. Nice. So now we're reset, and we'll guess.
8 I think.
Yep. I would have. 8 full.
What is that in the middle there?
It's something with Chrome or whatever.
Oh,
like it's gone now. Close. All right. This, I think of movies that are violent. This movie is
not sure
horrendously violent.
Yeah,
it reaches my level of violence. Where, but at the same time, you're saying that guy has to die. Like. So anyway,
got some good twists in it, Alec.
Okay, let's see what time it is here. Or it's only 1. So let's see if we can build hints now. We've got a complete game at this point, but we've promised to do hints, so we could do that. I think we can do it easier than I did that. So that's the Hulk. We'll get it. Let's just check our lose condition again one more time before we leave. I know that's the Incredible Hulk, but Hulk 03.
Just hit keep it. Yes. I think you just.
Yeah. Hulk versus guess. Game over. And it's red. And then game over, loser. The movie was Incredible Hulk. All right. Cool. All right. So that works. I think it's pretty cool. So now let's do with this right here. And I think we can do that. All right. So what we got to do here is we actually got to go and look at a couple things. And so over here, and I keep this up when I'm building with the TMDB API, and I've used this a lot. So I do know that the one endpoint we're using is called Discover. And Discover has a limited movie object that comes back. And then Details brings back everything that they have. And so that's what we want. We want to build some hints, and we'll need access to all the information about the movie in order to build some cool hints. And I've got some ideas, like we could tell them who the director was, maybe the lead actor, maybe. And there's also this thing called overview and tagline, without giving them the title, that kind of maybe give it away. And then maybe the genre or something like that we could display or something like that. All right. So all of that's going to be in this thing called Details. And so we need to get this movie Details. And then with TeamDB API, one of the things they do really cool is that you can append result sets to this one call, so you don't have to call it once. And so you can do things like credits, which is the cast and crew. And I'm going to go ahead and add videos in it, because eventually we'll do the trailer. And if I put in 550 over here, try it out, and you can see, we can scroll through here and you can see, like, I got production companies. We're not going to use that. Production countries, we don't care. Spoken languages. There's a lot of more information here, but here's that tagline that we could use. The title. And then should be a crew in here. I thought it was credits. I don't see it. So let's look at it. Read more about it here. Pin response videos, yeah. Images. Go back here. And let's see. Those credits. Maybe again. There it is. I must have capitalized that before. I think you can do something like this. Try it again. And as you can see, I've got the credits here, and then you can see Edward Norton, and this is for Fight Club, 550 Fight Club. And so we could grab this person out of here, get the actor, and then we can go in the crew and get the director. And then we'll see if the videos came back for later in the day. Okay. It doesn't like that. I wonder if I just did comma. I got to get this right. Let me just check it one more time here. Yeah, it's videos. Comma separated. Comma. All right. Videos, comma, credits. About 50. There it is. Okay, I just had it. Videos and credits. Okay, so we got them all now. So what I can do now is I can grab this. And I'm going to convert this to C# classes, but there's a lot of typing here where you've seen me change it by hand before, Kevin. I've found this website that we use a lot. And I come over here and I can take this JSON and convert it to C# classes. And it'll automatically do my Pascal case. And I'm going to say use nullable types. I don't need this JSON properties because I set my HTTP client up to do it the way I want.
That's nice. It saves a ton of time.
Yeah, it saves us a ton of time. And so I'm just going to copy it as is, and I'm going to come back and I'll change it inside of C#. So I'll go back over here and we'll go into our models here. And I'm going to make a brand new class here. Add a class. We'll call this movie details. Okay. And ports, we're using underscore. Okay. I think that's underscore. Yep. Underscore. There we go. And then here, get rid of this, and I'm going to paste it, and then I'm going to rename some stuff here. But it's got the names sort of like what I want. I got the cast in here. That's kind of cool. The credits is a list of cast and a list of crew. Here's the crew. Here's the genre, the production company. This, because I've seen this before, I know this is video. All right. And this should be movie details. Movie details. And here, videos. Credits. List of videos is a list of video. do that. I think that's it. So that saved us a lot of times in watching me change them all the time, all over the place. You know, a lot easier. And what I want to do too is, since this is the main class of this thing, like it doesn't matter where we put it, I'm going to move it to the top. Put these underneath it so we're not confused what's what. All right. And then we'll get rid of this. So what we'll do is write an endpoint to pull this back, and it'll fill all this stuff up in that one call. So it'd be pretty cool. And then genre should get put in here. Production company. Make sure they're all named good. List of video results. Wait a second. Or we'll see what it does. Maybe it'll work. All right, so we'll go over here to this server side project now, and then I need to work on my servers here. So we're going to write a new method right here, which should be pretty simple. It's just going to return the details, and this is a 2-line method, so it's pretty easy to write. So public async task. And the type we're returning is that type we just made, movie details. And we will call it get movie details async. And we're going to pass in an int, and we're going to call this movie ID. All right. I am going to see how close it got. Get rid of that. All right, so movie ID, append, videos, credits, language ES. I think that's all we need to do. And then the movie details await from Jason async. Movie details, Jason options. What's this saying? Must not be called Jason options. What did I call it? What did I call it? There you go. I just had this malformed here, so this is just returning a type of movie, an extra bracket in there. So it hits the endpoint here. This JSON options will format our JSON coming back, make sure it's Pascal case. And then if it throws an error, it also returns a response. So we'll get this whole movie details out of here. And that is this class right here, which will include all of this other stuff, videos and credits, basically, is what we want. And everything else about this movie, right? So that's our service method. So that's pretty simple. So now we can come back to our page here and we can work on calling it and then putting it into a set of hints. All right. This will be a little bit involved. So what I'm going to do is create a model here for hints. We had one for guesses. And we're just going to make up something. And then we'll write a method to do it. So a hint's going to be like a text. What else can we put in there? So it's hint text. So we'll say public string hint text and public Boolean show. Do we show this one or not? And probably, I'll probably need this. I'll just order it. Give them an order. So this will just be a text that we'll make up, whether it's visible or not, and the order, and we'll show them one at a time down the page. As they guess, we'll give you a new hint. So it'll be 5 hints that it matches our guesses, and that's it. All right. So now that we have a model, let's collapse this. Game flow is bigger. I'll make a new region here. And region. Here we'll just write a build hints thing. And that should be all we need to do. And then we'll figure out how to show them and that kind of stuff. All right. So public async task. We'll just call it get hints. And just bear with me. This is a little complicated, but you know, what's not? If it's hard, it wouldn't be worth doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go grab the API. We're going to get some information back and we're going to build some hints. The ideas that I had were release date. Show them the release date of the movie. Okay, that would rule out sequels and stuff like that. Maybe show them the lead actor, who's the starring actor in the movie. Maybe show them the director, who's the director of the movie. And then there's this thing called overview. And then there's also a tagline as well. So we could do all of those. Okay. All right, so first and foremost, we'll get the movie details out of it. And we'll call our service, and we're going to get movie details async. So what's it saying here? Okay, spelled it wrong. Okay, did I not save it? Okay, that's weird. Let's go look. Oh, I know what we did. We did not put it in our interface, I bet you. That's what we didn't do. We just wrote the code. Let me just grab this. So I'm going to go over here to my interface. And here. Okay. So we got 3 methods, and this is the one we just wrote, so we should be able to see it now. Okay. Dot get movie detail async. All right, so we need to get the movie ID, which we're going to pass in here. So, all right, we could just grab it out of random movie, but we're going to pass it in just to fun. Then we'll say movie details is not null. We're hoping we get something back. If we don't get anything back, we're not going to show any hints, obviously. Okay. So now we have everything that we need to know. So the first one is release year. So let's look at release year and get that off of our code here. And so like this is our crazy datetime parser because it's a string. So movie details release date. Try to turn it into a datetime. If it can, return me the year, else return me the string unknown. We've been doing that every other year. So it's the exact same code. Now, once I have it, I'm just going to construct a string for this. Okay. And I'm going to, let's go get everything up front. So let's get the genre name equals, and we'll go movie details dot I should spell this right. Okay, so look at the genres, and if you remember this movie detail here, it's got this right here, this genres, which is a list of genre, and inside a genre down here in this class, there's a thing called a name. So we'll just get the first one. It'll say sci-fi or it'll say drama or whatever it is. All right, so let's go back in here. And so this will give me the genre out of our pullback. And then I'm going to get the tagline off this movie. And I should be able to grab the tagline right off there, just like that. Okay. That's pretty cool. And we'll get the lead actor. And so we can look at the credits, the cast, the first one. And just the first one. I don't care about the order. Anything like that. First or default. Dot name unknown. Okay, so now we have the whoever the actor is, the lead actor. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the director. The same thing, except this time I do know that I had to do this. I have to like look into the job. And so if you look at movie details and you go down to cast and crew, And this is crew object. There's a job field right here, and I can put director in that, and it'll find the director for this movie. The only reason I know that is because I've played with this a lot, so I can get the director. Otherwise, it's unknown. So I'm going to get a director back. Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hints or pieces of information I want to turn into a hint. All right. So let's build a hint 1. So the first hint that we're going to come up with is, what do you think, Kevin? What's the first hint?
I don't know. Do we go most obscure to, I don't know.
Something like that. I think so. Also I'm going to get, maybe, we'll get the overview too. Because that's your final hint. Okay. All right. And then we'll come back with something. I don't know what we'll do. We'll work on it here. So let's build the first hint. What do you think? Genre?
Oh.
Or tagline? Soap, mischief, mayhem. Does that give it away?
What?
Like, for if you have like
for some movies it might, but for others it's not.
Yeah. So if it says a galaxy far, far away, we know it's Star Wars, but taglines usually are kind of not very descriptive, right? All right. Okay. So let's build a hint here. So I am going to build a thing called string of tagline hit. Okay. So now we could just make it super simple here and say the tagline and then put the name in here. But I'm going to make it a little bit cooler. So if I get this tagline, no tagline available, I'm just going to change this right here to empty string. So if there's nothing there, this comes back empty. And so what I can do is use it in a sentence. We'll just make it a cool sentence. Okay, so we can do something like, all right, so we'll say string dot is null or empty tagline. All right, if that's null or empty, we'll say no tagline for this movie. The mystery deepens. Okay, so you get no clue. Not every movie may have one. Deep ends? Is that how you spell it? Or is it deep ends? Deep E-N. All right.
Yes.
Something like that. Okay, all right. All right, and then we could now format a string and make it look like here's the movie tagline. And I'm going to put it in quotes. So this is how you do this in quotes. I think it is tag line. And then we got, all right. So that's our tagline hint. So that's number 1. Okay. So the next hint, we'll go actor. What do you think? Actor, the starring actor.
Yeah, that works.
Help them out a little bit. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with this one. So instead of unknown here, I'm just going to change this to empty string. In fact, I'm going to do all of these like this because I'm going to check them. And if they're empty, then I got to give a better message. Okay. Now, same thing here. All right. So string and then actor. Yep. Equals string dot is null or empty. I'll call it lead actor. Okay, so we'll be creative here. ChatGPT's not. The lead actor is a mystery, is a bit of a mystery, is a bit of a mystery, bit of a mystery. Boom. Fitting, right? All right, so we got like it's talking to us, you know, something like that. Maybe someone may accuse us. And then we'll say the lead actor. So this would say like Brad Pitt or whatever takes the spotlight. And this one. Okay. So next, maybe director hint. I think director's good. Director hint. And we'll say equals. Okay. So you can see we're following the same kind of pattern here every time. We're just making a string based on what we have here. All right, so if it's null or empty, we'll say directed by, well, that part is classified. At least I'm amusing myself with these things, you know. And then we can just say directed by whatever. We'll say is the mastermind behind this one. I like that. Okay. Then let's string good genre hint. This probably doesn't help very much. All right. this whatever. Say genre name. Put it too lower just in case. This will be this sci-fi flick dropped. And I'm going to add the release year in this one. Cool. One more overview. Something like that. Okay, so let's see here. Got a problem here. If this is null, then this is get hint. All right, so we just need another thing here. All right. Okay, so we got strings here. And all right. So let's make sure that we set these all to empty. We did. So now I need to put these strings into a hint. Okay. So I'm going to write a new function here called build hint. So I'm going to say public. And it just makes it easy. Hint. That's the type called a build the hint. And it's going to take a string and an order. And all this does is return a new hint here. Let's see if we made sure this is hints. Right. So we're going to return a new hint here. That's all we're going to do. And we'll say show false. We'll pass it our hint text and what order we want it in. All right, so we'll come back here inside of this method here. So if we got a movie, we can build these hints here. So let's create a place to hold these right here. Private, this hints equals new. So we're going to get some hints here, just like we did the guesses. And then I'll just call this in a loop here, just to make it less typing. I didn't want to type all that out. So our hints, just create that and we'll say new list hints. Build hint. And we'll start with the tagline first. Build hint. Actor hint 2. Okay, something like that. Semicolon. Okay, so I went through the effort of making all these strings. I could have just Made it simple, but I wanted to make it a little bit cooler. And then I'm pulling back my API here and getting all this stuff. Then I build a string, and then I'm adding them to this list of hints here in this model. I wrote this helper method so that I wouldn't have to type this over and over again. That's all I did there. And so now I need to call this probably at start. Okay, so I need to call this whenever we start a new game and get all the hints, and then they're going to be defaultly not showing. So let's go to our game flow here. And we say new game, show random square, reset game state. We know new game creates the movie. So let's go to new game here. Let's find that. Not that one. Build a poster. And then this is handle the submit. This is a reset the game state. Again, new game right here. Okay. So we could, right here, when we get a new game, you can say random movie dot ID. All right, and this will fill up our things here. Still, it's not awaited, so we'll say await. So it gets a random movie, then it gets the hints for the movie, and then when we hit submit, then we want to show what we want to show. So we got to figure that out too. So when we push it down, we need to know how many guesses we're on. So we add a guess, and then we want to show a hint. List of hints. I wonder if I need to probably also work on showing up here. So I'm going to just do it in the UI instead of down there. So I'm going to come up here in the tab content, just change it right here. So this is where the hints show up. And we have two tabs here, and the other tab has got the guessing here. So I'm going to do the same type of deal here instead of trying to do it down there. I think that's easier to do. Makes more sense. I've built all the hints that I already created. And then all I have to do is show them whenever there's a guess. So I'll keep one of these laying around. So at for each, and here we'll say var it in hints, order by. And the reason I'm doing this is because if you don't have to add them in order necessarily. But this number will make sure they're ordered correctly. All right, so if, and we'll use this based on the guesses. So we'll say guesses dot count plus 1. They start at 0. Greater than equal to the hint dot order, whatever that order is, or if it's tagged to show. Drop this here. And all we have to do is put the right thing in here. Hit text. And then this right here, we can also give us the right square here. And instead of 1, we'll just say at hint. I know it goes to 9, so we'll be okay. Dot order. Well, that didn't work. Why didn't it work? Just got a name drunk. Oh, it doesn't like this. Go to R. There we go. It didn't like this either. All right. I have no idea if that's going to work, Kevin. I think it is. Let's try it out. What do you think?
I don't know. Let's
100%, see. Right?
Sure. Confidence.
So, like, that's a lot of coding to make this work up. Let's just see what our errors are here. Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't like that. I thought it would. Guess I can't do that. I thought I could. Okay, I'm just an idiot. You just have to put it around once. All right, and then this is a semicolon. All right. Okay. Let's try it. I got another bear. Class. Okay. After all that typing to compile errors, that's pretty good. I've been typing for an hour. It's going to work first time. Look at that.
Yeah.
The king has returned. That gave it away, didn't it?
Does it? I don't know.
Could put a little space here. Huh?
I don't know it.
Come on. You do.
Is it? Oh, no, I don't think it's that.
It's Return of the King.
Okay.
It has to be, right?
No, it doesn't. I don't think it is.
Oh.
I told you, I didn't think it was. No, I don't think it's that. I know those posters. That's not one of those posters.
Takes the spotlight in this one. She will take the spotlight in this one.
No idea.
Okay. I like that guy, but I don't know what this is. Okay. Jon Favreau directed Mufasa. Is it The Lion King or Mufasa?
I don't know actually. I see so it's the.
I think it's Mufasa the Lion King.
Okay.
What do you think? Or do you think it's
the
I
2019?
Don't know.
I have no idea. I really don't.
Which one did he direct? Let's see. I'm probably wrong. I am wrong. It dropped in 2019. Now we know, right?
Yeah.
So The Lion King. There we go. You got it in 4 guesses. Now it shows us our, our overview here. The guesses here. We got it right. These are red. Probably could put a pop of color on these maybe, but it's okay, right?
I think it works.
Okay. And then that's it. So that's our app. I mean, I think that's enough for today. What's next is like a settings menu that could pop out here, and then you could pick your own date and time, like your own decade and your own genre, something like that. Okay. And so you could dial this in. An instruction panel to tell people how to play. And then from there we could add stats. We could add a movie trailer.
Yeah, I like it.
Multiplayer. What do you think? Think we can?
Multiplayer is crazy ambitious, but
a little signal our action. A little, I think we could do it. But we'll do that last. We'll have multiplayer if we can do that last. Make it look Jackbox style game if you ever played those. It's the only thing that keeps families together at Christmas is Jackbox games.
There you go.
Okay, there's only one little thing here. I noticed that this space wasn't right, so I'm gonna fix that one here. Which one was that? No tagline. The mystery deepens. Here's the tagline. Was it tagline or what was it? It was wrong. Director takes a spotlight genre. It looks like this one. I think I'll save that. All right. Try it again. There it goes. Vengeance hits home. Here's the movie tagline. Vengeance hit home. Okay. All right. That's it, Kevin. We've got Obscurus coming around. I know that took a little long to do this, but it's quite involved.
It works.
It does work. And the hint comes up first. I guess that's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Again, you could. Yeah, that's
Beekeeper. I don't know what this is. We'll go one more time here. Fast and Furious.
Which one?
I don't know. Vin Diesel takes a spotlight. Well, that clears it up. This looks like the very first one. It just looks like it. That poster.
You gotta try it first. There's just no other. Start at the beginning, right? Nope.
Okay, it's not that one. Fast and Furious. Fast X. Dropped in 2015. That year, that release date does help you, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. If it was the first clue, it would be the most obvious. You'd be easy to do with ones like this, where there's multiple with the same name.
Fast and Furious IOUS. We're looking for a 2015 release. 7.
Yeah, you'd have never got that, would you? I mean,
I'd never
short of knowing the poster. I mean,
yeah, you'd have to really know the poster, which is the point of the game, I guess. But you know, we'll see. A cool poster, a little line item. Vin Diesel in the middle, The Rock up front. I wonder how they negotiated that. Sure, there's plenty of negotiation about that, right? You got to be front. All right, man. Well, anything else? Any questions from anybody? Or
no, good.
Okay. Well, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back next week. We'll probably add some more features to it. But at this point, it's kind of playable. You know, we have some other features that we could add to make it maybe cooler, but it does work. I like the hint thing. I think the guesses is kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. And again, if anybody does have any suggestions for features, throw them in a comment to the video when it's done.
Yeah, we'll definitely add the trailer to the win condition. We'll do that. So we'll definitely do that.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
Well, we'll see you next week. Next Tuesday. Remember, our Blazor course drops next Tuesday. We'll be talking about that on our live show next Tuesday. So we'll check it out and check us out next week. See you later.
Catch everybody later. Bye-bye.